Story 1. The Empty Playground. It was supposed to be a celebration, the last day of senior year, the promise of summer freedom hanging heavy in the air. But a strange tension gripped our class. Ms. Thompson, our beloved history teacher, was missing. She'd never missed a day in her 20 years. The excitement fizzled. Rumors swirled like dust devils. Car accident, sudden illness. As the day wore on, the principal announced a personal emergency and dismissed us early. Confused, I wandered the deserted playground. Suddenly, a child's giggle echoed from the old, boarded-up schoolhouse across the street. Curiosity gnawed at me. Squeezing through a gap in the boards, I found myself in a dusty classroom, desks long gone. Sunlight slanted through broken windows, illuminating a single worn swing set in the corner. And a girl. She looked about 5, with pigtails and a faded sundress. She giggled again, beckoning me closer. As I approached, the shadows behind her seemed to writhe. "Lost?" she chirped, her voice oddly adult. I stumbled back, dread prickling my skin. The shadows coalesced, forming a grotesque figure with too many limbs and hollow eyes. It reached for me with skeletal claws. I screamed and ran. Bursting through the boarded window, I tumbled onto the pavement. Scraped and bruised, I looked back. The schoolhouse was silent, devoid of any sign of the girl or the creature. News reports confirmed Ms. Thompson vanished years ago. The old schoolhouse, condemned due to asbestos, held no trace of her or anyone else. But sometimes, on quiet nights, I can swear I hear a child's laughter, laced with malice, echoing from the abandoned playground. Story 2. The Time Capsule. Our graduating class had a tradition, burying a time capsule filled with mementos. This year, Principal Crowley insisted on including something extra, a digital recorder. To capture the sounds of our time, he declared, his smile unsettlingly wide. We buried the capsule at sunset, a cold wind whipping through the cemetery behind the school. Later, during the celebratory bonfire, a sense of unease settled in. Several students swore they saw shadowy figures flitting between the gravestones. Months passed. Summer flew by, replaced by the routine of college life. One evening, a notification popped up on my phone. It was a file from an unknown source. Graduation night, time capsule recording. I hesitated, but morbid curiosity won. The recording crackled to life. At first, it was just the wind and the sound of the bonfire. Then a low guttural voice started chanting in a language I didn't recognize. Panic clawed at me. The chanting grew louder, punctuated by animalistic growls. A blood-curdling scream ripped through the recording, followed by silence. The next morning, news broke. The cemetery had been vandalized. Several graves were disturbed, including one that had been empty for decades. The police found a single clue, a broken digital recorder, lying amongst the scattered dirt. Haunted by the recording, I gathered my former classmates. We decided to exhume the time capsule. The metallic box lay just as we'd buried it, but the air around it felt heavy, oppressive. As we lifted the lid, a black viscous liquid oozed out, engulfing the capsule. Terror screamed through me as I saw a single, skeletal hand emerge from the muck, clutching a broken digital recorder, an identical twin to the one found at the cemetery.